Hey, what's up, Ann in Richmond, Virginia? Ann, how in the world are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I know you can hear us talking when we're not on air, and you can tell I'm not very good at this.
You also owe Kelly a lot of money because you've said listen so far twice. So,
Oh, come on. Kelly wasn't even paying attention. Real cool, Ann. You were that kid in school that were like, can we just do more homework?
Probably.
Oh, gosh. Darren's looking at my paper. Thanks, Ann. The world needs more. The world needs more Anns. Can't believe I said listen twice. Kelly's going to get a Cadillac after this deal. Hey, so what's up? How can I help?
Anyway, my sister and I have always been pretty close. We got married around the same time, and then the two of us couples were really close. And now they're getting a divorce. And we're just trying to figure out how to navigate this and how to manage to stay friends and keep things sort of normal for all of our kids. And what do we do?
So is everything, man, that messes up weekends, evenings, babysitting. Hey, we're going to
a lot.
All of it, yeah. And then do y'all have the same gang of friends too outside of your little family bubble? Oh gosh. Okay, so why are they getting divorced? Is there any abuse or evil stuff going on, or do they just fall out of love and blah blah blah?
I think it's mostly they grew apart, or she grew up and he's kind of the same person he's always been. And I don't see it as he's a bad person as much as they just don't see eye to eye. And also when he can be a little bit on the controlling side when things aren't the way he thinks they ought to be. He's just one of the people that likes to try to buckle down and try harder for his way rather than compromise. And so I don't see it as abuse, but definitely not healthy either.
Okay. And I said something that I hate. I said, did they just fall out of love? I don't really think that happens. I think people just quit working on it. So it sounds like they, over time, just stopped working on stuff, right? And
that's the way I see it.
Okay. All right.
No,
that's
I mean,
a better way.
I haven't been there, 24/7. So
That's right. So
I can't say 100%.
Here's a couple of things. It really is going to come down to how mature everybody wants to be.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I want you to be cognizant of and put on the table in your home with your husband is this will send shockwaves through your marriage. It will send shockwaves through you, through your husband, and through your connection, right?
Right.
And it can be we can just get out of this thing, or I don't want that to happen to us, or now it's become real, this can happen, right? Everybody kind of trips out a little bit. There's grieving that has to happen on y'all's end. And if y'all haven't gone out one night or one morning and just said, this is going to affect us, how are we? Then you got to do that, because there's going to be a lot of unspoken stuff. How similar, or am I right? Has this happened?
To some extent, and then I feel like we're in a, we've realized that it could happen, but things are, we talk more and I don't know, I feel like we're in a good spot right now.
Cool.
Not saying, saying nothing could happen, but.
There you go. So I want y'all to look at this as a chance to reimagine where y'all are headed and where y'all are right now, and make this fun. If you can get away for a weekend, I don't know how old your kids are, but if y'all can get away for a weekend, if you can get away for an afternoon or an evening, do that and make this so fun. So fun. And it doesn't have to be oh no, we don't want to become them. I think you got to put that on the table and say, hey, this is just sucks, and this is scary, and this is. And where do we want to go? What is the next 2 years, 3 years, 7 years going to look like for us? We don't know what the world's going to look like, but who are we going to be in the midst of all the mayhem? And I think that's so good. So when it comes to friends and relationships and family and this kind of stuff, if there's abuse, if he was beating up your sister, there's some relationships like we're cutting people off, right? Or if there's child abuse, things like you're not gonna be around my kids, you're not gonna be around my home, etc. My friends, we've been together for so long, but we're really open about this stuff. And so back when one night we were all just hanging out, a couple of my oldest buddies, somebody just said it out loud, like, hey, by the way, if any of us ever get divorced, I'll love y'all, but your wife is welcome to come stay at my house. Like, no questions asked, right? So I think it would be really wise and very mature and grown up of you to, if they can be in the same room, if y'all can still sit in the same room together, then to invite them over for dinner and say, we're still having all the kids together. Y'all two can do your thing, but I'm still going to call him. I'm still going to call you. And the two husbands are still going to go hang out and go do whatever they do. And me and you are still going to that's still going to happen. And we're not going to pick sides here. And we're not going to get drawn into any drama and, oh, why didn't you respond to my text? And you respond, I hear you're talking to him. And I think just calling that out, putting it on the table. Y'all have chosen to not be married. We are choosing to still love both of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and we've tried that, and now we're getting some pushback, and like, why do you spend time with him? And they just...
There you go. So here's what you did. You put a boundary on the table, and your boundary was, we're going to love you both. And now people are going to bang their head up against that boundary and see if it's real. And so this is when you respond back and say, hey, I'm not doing this. I love you. And if you're going to tell me that to be a sister who loves you means I have to cut off friends, I'm not going to do that. Or maybe you say, okay, I'll do that. And you tell him, hey, I love you, but I got to side with my sister on this one. And you're going to need to find your own gang, right? If y'all want to do that, then so be it. And when it comes to the other friends, I think you let them know. We're still going bowling, or I don't know what your friends do together. We're still going to go do those things. We're going to invite everybody. Y'all two can decide, because y'all made a grown-up decision. Y'all two can decide. And here's the other thing that's going to just is a grenade in the middle of everything, is everything's going to be different now. It's going to be weird. There's going to be that awkward fleshing out part, and it's just going to be weird. There's not going to be when do we get back to normal? Because there's going to have to be a new normal. And y'all get to design what this new normal is going to look like, but it's going to be annoying and frustrating. And it's okay to be so mad at your sister for screwing everything up. And it's going to be fine to be mad at this dude, her ex, for screwing everything up, and partridge in a pear tree. But holidays are going to look different. Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's all going to look different, right?
Yeah.
It's as intentional as possible. And then just don't put up with people acting like children. I thought you were going to be my friend more. And stop. We're not doing that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
How much is that happening? Or are you imagining it happening?
Recently it has been happening, because basically just the way circumstances where we were hanging out with her more, and then we got invited to do some stuff with him and other friends all together, and now she's upset about that. And it's not about him. It's like the whole group of friends, and we wanted to do this, and now she's not happy. And
yeah, so in her grief and in her shame and in her frustration and in her anger, she's going to have to find repeated scapegoats. And as her best friend and sister, and also as the adult in the room, you are going to be the brunt of this, unfortunately. That's where you just calling her out, like, dude, I love you. Stop acting like a child. And this is going to be heartbreaking for you. But if she chooses to act like a child and disconnect from you because you're acting like a grown-up, that may be part of what's next for you for a while. I don't think it will be forever, but that may be what's coming up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's heartbreaking, I know. But here's the thing. When we love people, people just do dumb things. They do stupid things. They do things differently than we do. And they do things that frustrate us. They do things that are incredible. They win the lottery, and then suddenly it's like, oh, what happened? That's just part of loving people. It's a risk, and it's hard. And that's when you have to know who your gang is, what your values are, what your boundaries are, and then how you're going to speak them into the world. And I hope your sister will love you and go, I know. And that's when that's when a sister who loves her can say, do you really think I don't love you? Stop. And we're going to go hang out with friends. And if you don't want to come because you divorced this guy, that's your choice. Congratulations. But we're going bowling because we love bowling. And I'll still come over to your house, but we're not going to keep a tally How many times are you with him or with me? And by the way, he'll get remarried someday. And feels like most guys, it'll be about 2.5 weeks from now. He'll run into some old middle school girlfriend and just call it. And he'll end up making his own life. So some of this is going to be temporary. And then you and your sister will stay connected at some point. So some of this is just getting through the discomfort of where we are right now. Ugh, so frustrating. But you and your husband, y'all be the adults in the room. Hold your boundaries and take care of those little kids. Make sure they're all hanging out together.